Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, we are going to talk about the 5 most important positions to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 2018 season. Bit of fair warning, Jameis Winston is not on this list because obviously that would be an automatic number 1. So if you guys are going to put your number 5 most important positions down in the comments section below, like I would like you to do, please do that if you want to, just to get a conversation going. Try and not include Jameis Winston. It's a little bit of a challenge. I kind of struggled with it, but I eventually got a top 5 that I'm actually pretty happy with. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started with number 5, which is kicker, specifically Chandler Catanzaro. Now, obviously, when talking about the kicking position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we have been cursed for years. For years, we have not been seeming to have a very good kicker after Matt Bryant left and went to the Atlanta Falcons, and has quite honestly had a pretty productive career with them. Since then, we have gone through so many freaking kickers. We even drafted one in the second round that nobody likes to talk about, myself included, and it just, it's been a mess, which is why Catanzaro has such an important job for us this year, or I guess I should say for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I don't work for them, so you know. But anyway, the point is that Catanzaro is going to have a lot on his plate. He needs to be successful right away, and he needs to prove that he can be a consistent kicker, because if he isn't, then the Bucs are going to be in a lot of trouble. We need him to go out there and make his field goals. I'm sure a lot of Bucs fans are tired going to games and time for a field goal, and everybody's holding their breath. When I was going to games the past couple of years, or when I have gone to games the past couple of years, I sit there and I get so nervous because I think like, oh God, are they gonna make it? Like, please Lord, let them make it. And I shouldn't have to feel that way. I should have to feel like, oh, okay, our kicker's coming out. Okay, the score is gonna be like 7-3 or something. You know, I should feel that that's gonna be an automatic 3 points for us, as you should probably feel. I love how I envy Ravens fans because they have the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker, and I'm jealous because I want that kind of kicking safety in my mind. You know, I want to be able to say like, oh, our kicker's going out there from like 50 something, he'll make it. And Catanzaro has to be that guy now, so he really needs to be accurate and needs to put points up on the board, because it can cost you games. It can be the difference between winning a game and losing a game. Nick Folk lost us that game last year against the New England Patriots, and it just wasn't good, so your kicker needs to be on point. With all that being said, moving on to number 4, which is the running back position, specifically Ronald Jones / Peyton Barber. Now, let's talk about Peyton Barber first. What's his role going to be moving forward? Is he going to split carries with Ronald Jones? Is he going to be more of a power back who goes and gets those 1 or 2 couple of yards for you and can turn it into maybe something else just from a pure power perspective? What's his role going to be? Honestly, I think that he is going to end up being that kind of powerish type back role. Definitely a change of pace back as well. I will probably expect him, honestly, to get around 10-15 touches a game, while Ronald Jones is getting the majority of the touches. But that still holds a pretty important position, because if you're on the goal line, you need a power back to get in there. Because the Bucs consistently these past couple of years have not been very decent in the red zone. They need to score more points. They need to score more touchdowns in the red zone specifically. And a lot of that can happen with a power back going and getting big chunks of yards in the red zone and just kind of powering his way through into the end zone. Last year, the longest touchdown run we had was 2 yards by Peyton Barber. Now, that's not very good, actually. That is actually very last in the league, but it still proves the point of you need running backs who can smash into the line and just get powerful and get powered through and score touchdowns. And I think Peyton Barber is going to end up being that guy. But moving on then to Ronald Jones, I think he's going to add a little bit more. I think that he is going to be a 3-down back, and I think he is going to increase that touchdown yardage run number. Obviously, I think he's going to be doing a lot better than 2. That isn't to say that Peyton Barber can't do that, but Ronald Jones specializes in making people miss, being very elusive, and getting long touchdown runs. That's kind of his niche, his forte, if you will. So these guys have a very important job because they need to get the running game going this year. We did not get the running game going last year, and it really, really, really affected our offense in a very bad way. We didn't have a guy with over, I believe, 500 rushing yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Peyton Barber did, but that's not good. Obviously, with Doug Martin, Jaquiz Rogers, Charles Sims last year, it was a mess. Now we have Ronald Jones in, who we are hoping can be a 3-down back for us, which why makes it so important, because if you can run play action and catch the defense off guard, Jameis Winston can be able to expose that defense and get long passing plays, or maybe even touchdowns. You know, who knows? If he's corrected his deep ball passing ability with Deshaun Jackson, you could result in a lot of touchdowns just by running play actions and fooling the defense. So you need a strong running game for all that to be possible, and just overall improve the passing game. But moving on to number 3 now, and that is Donovan Smith, left tackle. The reason I specifically chose Donovan Smith on this offensive line is because I kind of trust, I trust DeMar Dodson when he's healthy. I trust Ali Marpet when he's healthy. I trust Ryan Jensen. And at right guard, right guard isn't as important to me as left tackle. Donovan Smith has had a very important job for these past couple of years, and that is protecting Jameis Winston. It's important. It's very important. That's Jameis Winston's blind side that Donovan Smith is protecting, and if Jameis takes a couple of bad hits, it can result in injuries. It happened last year. So Donovan Smith is in charge of protecting the franchise, essentially. You have to be a very good left tackle to do well in this league, especially with the quality of pass rushers that have been coming out lately, which makes Smith's job so much more important. Because not only do you have to go up against really, really impressive pass rushers, but you have to do that with a thought in your mind of thinking, oh God, if I mess up, Jameis could get hurt because he's not going to see a sack coming, and it could really hurt him. That's pretty important. If Donovan Smith doesn't do good in his job, which, keep in mind, I do think he'll do a good job, which I actually highlighted in my top 5 players who will step up for the Bucs in 2018, if you want to go check that out. But I feel that Donovan Smith will have a pretty hard, he'll have a very rough time ahead of him going along all these quality pass rushes, and he needs to step up and he needs to perform well. Otherwise, it could potentially result in Jameis Winston getting hurt. And if Jameis Winston gets hurt, oh, that's not going to be good for our season, I'll tell you that much. If Jameis Winston goes down and gets injured, and it could potentially be Donovan Smith's fault, oh, that's not good, because then we're rolling out with Ryan Fitzpatrick, which isn't a bad thing, but you want your franchise guy to be healthy. With all that being said, moving on to number 2. It is the cornerback position, specifically Vernon Hargreaves III, Carlton Davis, and MJ Stewart. The reason I've highlighted these 3 players specifically is because they are both going to have 2 very important jobs. All 3 of these guys are going to have 2 very important jobs. One of them is going to be the second cornerback playing opposite to Brent Grimes, and one of them is going to be playing the nickel cornerback position. Both of these positions are very, very, very important to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The nickel cornerback position is essentially a starting position for the Bucs. Hargreaves is supposedly going to be battling for the starting cornerback position opposite Brent Grimes, as well as the starting quarterback position in nickel packages. So this is assuming that in nickel packages, Hargreaves will go to cornerback number 2, and assumingly either Ryan Smith or Carlton Davis will slide into that opposite spot, Brent Grimes. That's really, really important, because last year our cornerback position was, needless to say, very inconsistent. We need our cornerbacks to perform well this year and overall cover guys. And a lot of that might ride into whether or not the Bucs decide to play press coverage or play off with a handful of these guys. All 3 of them, Vernon Hargreaves III, Carlton Davis, and MJ Stewart, all thrive more in press coverage. And Vernon Hargreaves specifically was playing very well last year when he was playing press specifically in the nickel. So, the reason that it is so important is because you need to be able to cover these wide receivers, and you need to be able to just overall be a good coverage guy. Otherwise, they're going to pass all over you, and you're going to get burned, and you're going to give up touchdowns, and your defense is going to struggle in general because you're going to have to keep on playing from behind. So you need good cover corners available. And the Bucs tried to do a lot to improve this year with getting guys like Carlton Davis and MJ Stewart. I want to highlight specifically, though, Vernon Hargreaves, because let's say he doesn't perform well and he gets benched. You're putting a lot of pressure on guys like Carlton Davis and MJ Stewart, and I think they can handle it, but ideally you want them to ease into their roles and learn. I have no doubt that Carlton Davis and MJ Stewart can be productive starters, and, you know, if push came to shove, I think that they could come in and do a pretty decent job. Specifically Carlton Davis, I think that he would be a phenomenal number 2. But if Vernon Hargreaves is supposed to be your guy and you want him to play both the number 2 cornerback position and the nickel cornerback position, then that's a lot of pressure riding on you because you have a lot of stuff to do and you really need to be on top of your game in terms of coverage. So, finally, with all that being said, number 5, Chandler Catanzaro, number 4, Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, number 3, Donovan Smith, number 2, Vernon Hargreaves III, Carlton Davis, and MJ Stewart. Finally, we have reached number 1, which is Jason Pierre-Paul and Vinny Curry, defensive end. Was there ever any doubt? I don't think so. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about what kind of job Jason Pierre-Paul and Vinny Curry have to have on their plates right about now. Pass rusher has been a very, very, very interesting position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a very long time now, ever since Simeon Rice left, essentially. Back in, I think it was like, ever since the last double-digit sack season back in 2005 with Simeon Rice, things could have gone better. The Bucs have had such a up and down slope in terms of their pass rushing defensive ends. The last good guy they had, think about this, was Michael Bennett. That was a long time ago. I believe that was back in like 2012, 2013. That was like 5 to 6 years ago where they had like, okay, this guy's really good pass rusher. We had Noah Spence, we've had guys like George Johnson, we've had guys like Michael Johnson, we've had guys like Robert Ayers. None of them have worked. I mean, Ayers worked for the most part, but we haven't had a double-digit sack defensive lineman since 2005. That's not good. So now it's up to Jason Pierre-Paul and Vinny Curry. Will one of them finally, since 2005, be the guy to get double-digit sacks on the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If you want my honest opinion, I'm going to say probably yes. I think Vinny Curry and Jason Pierre-Paul are two of the better defensive ends we have had since 2012 when we had Michael Bennett and whatnot in 2011. Obviously, they are a little bit towards the second part of their career, which means they might slow down a little bit, but I still think that they are some of the better pass rushers in the league, and it is up to them now to generate pressure because it is all won in the trenches. Games are definitely won in the trenches, in my opinion. You need a good offensive line and you need a good defensive line, and then usually a lot of stuff will start falling into place. If you're getting pressure on the quarterback, then cornerbacks will begin to be able to make plays on quarterbacks' mistakes when they are getting pressured. That's really important. So Jason Pierre-Paul and Vinny Curry have that tall task of getting pressure on the quarterback, which the Bucs haven't had in such a long time. We had a career low, or not a career low, we had a league low 22 sacks last year as a team. There are like some defensive players who have gotten more than that by themselves. That's not good for the Bucs. So it's up to Vinny Curry and up to Jason Pierre-Paul to get pressure and really take charge of that, help take charge along with Gerald McCoy of that defensive line and just really try and pressure the quarterback so it helps out the cornerbacks, it helps out the safeties, it helps out the linebackers, and it just makes the game overall better, and it could be the deciding factor between winning and losing games. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe and like the video. I have a lot more videos coming out soon with just all these different types of topics, and you know, always suggest topics down in the comments section below as you do. I love all the suggestions. I write them all down in a little notebook and I keep track, and I've got a lot of stuff planned for you guys. Again, don't forget to like the Facebook page and join the Facebook group. It is getting fun and there's always fun discussions that go on there. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Snapchat, follow me on Instagram, follow me wherever you want. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video, but until then, goodbye for now, guys. See ya.